All right, you guys, this is Batik. Dr. Hanlon saw a couple of horses for us yesterday, including the big roan gelding. Come back here. Come here. This is such a fantastic horse right here. This horse is pretty much sound. We can't find any reason for him not to be called sound. Also, he said that this horse is just turned 8 years old, that he has no grooves, and this thing right here comes at 7 and 11. And because there's no groove, he said there's no way this horse is a day over 8 years old. So that was also something about some teeth in the back. And anyway, said he's not a day over 8 years old. So this is a super nice horse. The story that he came with is he came with 2 other gaited horses. Yes, go ahead. The lady shows them. She bought a black and white paint that her husband had ridden. He was just a bomb-proof, safe paint horse for her husband who had Parkinson's disease, but this was her show horse. She said they bought this horse as a 3-year-old for $35,000 and that she did show him. He's supposed to have multiple different registries. He's a spotted saddle horse and a saddlebred, I believe, is what we were told. And she said that he is 5-gaited. He gaits, walks, trots, lopes. She said that she also has ridden him English and Western, and he does drive. So everything on the note just stated that because her husband had Parkinson's disease, that he's now unable to ride and he's going in for brain surgery, and they needed money right away for some expense that occurred because of the surgery that her husband is now able to get. So this is Batik. And again, Dr. Hanlon mouthed him. His Coggins did say he was 8. I thought because of his teeth he was a touch older, so I wanted to just be double check sure. But he is not a day over 8 years old. You can let him trot. She said he would trot. You can trot him. Yeah. Yeah, she said that he was 5-gaited and that he will walk, trot, canter, lope, you know. She said that he does drive. She said if you want to harness him and hook him to a sulky, he drives. She said that she bought him to show and their life was going really great. And then her husband was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and it was a little more rapid onset. So at first she stopped showing. This is what, I had a conversation with her. She stopped showing and they trail rode all over the U.S. when he first got diagnosed because the doctor said they didn't know how long he would have to be able to ride. So they bought the black and white other paint gelding and they would get in their RV and go all over the U.S. She said he's been in the mountains. He has been in the desert. He has been everywhere. This horse has been all over the United States, everywhere in the world. There is not a place in the world that this horse has not been. She said they've been as far north as Washington. They've been as far to the other side as Maine. And they have rode him in Arizona, Wyoming, Montana. They took a trail ride through Kansas. So he's been on some extensive trail rides. And she said that you're not going to find a horse like this anywhere else in the country because she bought him out of a show barn to show, not to trail ride. And he was $35,000. And he is incredibly trained, you guys. He has the best mind. He got kicked at the sale barn, and you can tell he had never had a dot on him. He's got a little kick mark. It will heal. But I'm telling you, we keep him in a stall here. He's up in my barn in a stall. I have great pictures of him without a saddle, and he is dappled underneath his saddle blanket and on his hips. This is a horse that somebody paid $35,000 for. They've owned him since he was 3, coming 4 years old. He's been all over the U.S. to trail ride everywhere. He rides and drives. This is the most fancy horse that I've ever had here for a gaited horse. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you gaited people. This horse right here yesterday was for sale to the members only. I had lots and lots of people interested. I bet I had 50 text messages yesterday about him, and he didn't sell. And that's just, if you're not in the supporter hub, then you miss the opportunity at him at a little discount. We offered him yesterday, and then today, unfortunately, he plows a little more. Oh, she said he knows the barrel. She said she's jumped him. She's ridden him English. She's ridden him saddle seat. Huh? I wish we had jumps and stuff set up. Trot him to the barrel. She said she's played. She's literally owned him since he was 3, coming 4, and she's done everything. She said my husband and I spent an entire year of our life just enjoying the horses. We did everything. We barrel raced, we jumped, we trail rode, we went on week-long vacations all over the U.S. He knows everything. He can jump, he can pull a wagon or a cart. She did everything in the world to just enjoy time with her husband, and now because her husband is going in for brain surgery, she said that there were a couple of things they had to pay up front, and they just needed money urgently. And I'm going to tell you, Jacob paid them a lot for these horses to try to help them because of he asked her, how much do you have to have? Because she was going to PO them. And so Jacob ended up buying these horses for a lot of, Jacob paid more for this gaited horse than we've ever paid for a gaited horse. I'll say that, to help her. And I promised her that somebody would be watching that is one of my customers, that this is their heart horse and this horse would not go to slaughter. I promised her that. I promised her that one of you have been looking for this. He's 15 hands tall on the dot. We just sticked him. He weighs 1,282 pounds across the scale. So he's 1,282 pounds and 15 hands tall. And he drives, he rides, and you guys, he's 100% safe. And he is probably the nicest horse that I've ever had here for a gaited horse. He's absolutely the safest horse, and I'm telling you that there's somebody watching this and you have been looking for a high-end, good gaited horse. This is him. There is not a better horse in my barn. If you don't even like gaited horses, but you've been looking for a trail riding horse and you are in the budget for this horse is worth every dollar. I'm telling you, this horse plows 7,500 acres, and he's the nicest gaited horse I've ever had. I will never have another one like him, and he's only 8 years old, and he's guaranteed sound. Dr. Hanlon can vet him from his nose to his butt on Tuesday. You won't find anything wrong with him, and he's 8 years old. This is Batik, and this is a $35,000 show horse that's been all over the country showing, and then he went all over the country with his owner so that she could get to spend a year with her husband. They went from, she said, about May of 2019 to August of 2020. And she said the only reason last year really got cut short was because they discovered that her husband's Parkinson's was getting, and her husband quit being able to ride in about August, and the horses haven't had much done with them besides being boarded at a boarding facility since August. And she said that they held on this long, and now I know it drags the ground. You have to actually pull it, and she said that it's clipped because it'll drag. She said his tail at one. All right, you guys, this is Batik. He is very safe. He is very, very safe. This is the perfect horse. He plows 7,500 acres, and he's the nicest gaited horse that we've ever had. And again, she said in August her husband quit being able to ride, and these horses were just boarded at a boarding facility since August in a stall. And she said that because her husband's now eligible for the surgery, they just had expenses up front that they didn't expect, so she went ahead and sold the horses. So that's the only reason he was sold, and this is the world's greatest gaited horse. This is Batik, and he plows 7,500 acres.